It is only natural that for a leader to be successful, he must have the support of the various teams around him. It is also clear that despite your qualifications, skill sets, or experiences, or even the various successes that you would have achieved in your previous careers, if in your present job as a leader you're unable to get the full support of those around you, that you are destined for failure. Of course, this was evident between 2019 and September 2020, when Dr. Peter Phillips would have failed to achieve his mandate of becoming the Prime Minister of Jamaica, when he lost the general elections on September 3rd, because the teams around him and the comrades were not in full support of him, nor his ideas, his policies, nor his mandate. Of course, it should be noted that the delegates of the People's National Party have spoken. They chose Mark Golding as their president, and he is now the president of the People's National Party, the sixth person to hold that office. And if he is to be successful, then the various comrades, the PNP supporters, the PNP members, the senior members, the youth members, the youth groups, and all other PNP affiliates must come together in unity and support their new president in his bid to unite, rebuild, reorganize, re-energize, and re-engage the party so that they can become a formidable opposition and so that they can become the Jamaican electorate's choice party. Whilst many persons may have thought that a different person would have made a better president in the form of Lisa Hanna, it is the decision that has been made by the delegates, and this decision must be respected. After all, they chose to vote for Mark Golding. It was a huge victory margin by all of 296 votes over Lisa Hanna's 1,444 votes. Mark Golding managed to get all of 1,740 votes from the delegates, and that was massive. It was huge. It showed that they had enough confidence in him as a leader to give him more votes than Lisa Hanna. It was not a marginal victory like the one that Portia Simpson Miller or Peter Phillips would have gotten when they had their election challenges in 2006, 2008, and 2019 with the Bunting challenge and the Phillips challenge against Portia Simpson Miller. It should not be underscored the importance of the decision that was taken by the delegates. And if this decision is undermined, then there will only be further problems that will lead to the crumbling of the People's National Party, and the Jamaica Labour Party will just assume the post of being the government of Jamaica forever, because no other party will be there to challenge them for state power. Many persons believe that when you are involved in political activity, political parties are vehicles of national development and not a selfish way of getting things for yourself. These political parties do not exist to serve their own needs, but to serve the needs of others. Therefore, political parties exist for a magnanimous mandate. It is against this view that the purpose for which political parties exist that many persons have decided that there are some ideas that Mark Golding should be putting in place. And simply put, if Mark Golding is to make a difference to the destiny and the fortune of the People's National Party, and if he is to leave his indelible mark on history as the sixth president of the People's National Party, there are some things that he must do. As Mark Golding goes about seeking to make his indelible mark on the PNP, He must keep in mind that since the start of the political organization in 1938, the People's National Party has existed to serve the people of Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the globe. As a pioneer in socio-economic transformation, they have also displayed leadership in regional integration, and they exist as a respected voice in global affairs. The People's National Party has been a party of service, and they have always displayed magnanimity. Its defining character is a philosophy of people-centered development, located and founded on the principles of equity and equality. The recent series of electoral defeats, first in 2007 by Bruce Golding and the JLP team, then in 2016 and in 2020 by Andrew Holness and the JLP United team. Following unbroken series of electoral victories in 1989, 1993, 1997 and 2002, this political organization stands on a new frontier, and they are looking at a new horizon. But their leader and the various groups within the party and the comrades and even all of the supporters and the members must come together and show a united front and be true to themselves about this, or they should abandon the party and let the party start over freshly with some new members who have the party's best interest at heart. It is the party's mission to renew itself by rebuilding, reorganizing, re-energizing, and basically ensuring that unity is at the center of everything that they do. If they are to consider to pursue and continue their path to renewal, there are some things that Mark Golding should be focusing on. He must devise and implement a plan for creating the unity that he spoke about during his presidential campaigns. Having mentioned that he is committed to unity, Mark Golding must move with haste to outline the various parameters of his plan for creating unity within the PNP. While the plan should be very flexible and responsive to the future and developments thereof, it must have at its core these things: the holding of a series of discussions with PNP members at all levels to ensure that this change is communicated and that there is open discussion about concerns, about things that would have affected them, and about the issues that continue to affect the party on a whole. The discussions must be frank, open, respectful, and focused on healing and finding solutions. These discussions must be with the leadership of the two teams that came out of the 2019 and 2020 presidential elections. After these discussions are completed with Peter Bunting and Rise United, Mark Golding and his campaign team, Lisa Hanna and her campaign team, and Dr. Peter Phillips and the One PNP team, then they can move towards having another discussion with other supporters and PNP members. The structure of this plan and these meetings and discussions must be time-aligned to the implementations of the actions that have been agreed upon that came out of these conversations with the various teams and members. There must be an independent team that monitors and evaluates the progress of the implementation of the plan for unity within the PNP. Next on the list for Mark Golding is the development and promotion of a plan for a better Jamaica. Despite progress being made in various areas of national life, Jamaica has a far way to go in becoming a safe place where justice prevails and where equity is paramount, and where organization and clean and healthy, inclusive and developed ways of prosperity lies in the society. If the People's National Party, under Mark Golding's presidency, is to become of importance to Jamaicans at home and overseas, and not continue along the path of disunity and defeat, it must be able to describe in practical terms and believable ways how it will make Jamaica a better place for all who reside here and for those who live overseas. This is important because this will tell the Jamaican electorate that politicians are not just about themselves, but that they are about securing the best future for Jamaica. In order for Mark Golding to do this, he must lead a process of consultation in which he develops a master plan for Jamaica, which will be a blueprint, the form of a manifesto that will outline his mandate, that will show practicality and structure, and that will be easily understood, and that will tie in to the current Vision 2030 plan that Jamaica is supposed to be working towards. This blueprint or mandate should be ready by April or March in 2021, and it should become the foundation on which the People's National Party will present themselves to the Jamaican electorate, both in discussions and formal meetings with citizens and in an effort to show that they are a formidable debating team in the Parliament. The PNP needs to transform the view that they are only there for budget debates, and that they are able to come up with principles and able to follow a path that will lead to progress in regards to national development. Each member of the opposition must speak in the debates, and they must be willing to be in a place where they can ask the government about their plans and programs, and that they must be able to challenge them on every point, so as to ensure that Jamaica is on the best path towards national development. Mark Golding must also implement standards of performance and hold the people within the PNP accountable for their actions. He must show equity to all members and officers of the party, whilst holding them accountable for everything that they do and say. He must be firm in ensuring that people carry out their jobs effectively, and this is required not only in the form of clear job descriptions for the members of parliament, for the councillors, for the caretakers, and for the officers, along with the persons in the secretariat, the chairman and the general secretaries. There must also be an implementation of effective communication and an effective recruitment system to ensure that the party will become a victory machine and that they will have the youth in place to take over from the current senior members. Mark Golding must also bring across the impression that he is credible, accessible, knowledgeable, responsive, and attractive, so that the party is seen in a similar light. He must also target the youths. He must also bring them into the fold to ensure that they receive the necessary mentorship and empowerment to lead their various affiliates and groups, to ensure that the party will have a structure in the future, so that they will be able to take over the leadership reins from the persons who are currently in leadership. The party must also be seen as regionally focused and globally focused. Jamaica must not lose its international stature, and the party, called the PNP, must display the necessary characteristics and plans to ensure that Jamaica is seen in such a way by their actions. Jamaica has always loved a leader that is respected regionally and internationally, and if Mark Golding is supposed to make a mark locally, he must be respected locally, regionally, and internationally, and he must become a global and a regional force to be reckoned with. He needs to speak up about the issues that concern the Jamaican electorate, the issues that concern the diaspora. He must speak about all of the policies that must lead to equitable distribution of wealth and justice in Jamaica. Now, do you agree with these things that Mark Golding needs to put in place in order to renew the PNP and to put in place the necessary plans to ensure that they have a future and to ensure that he's a global force to be reckoned with? Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Goodbye.